Hey guys, so I'm in the kitchen again today and we are going to cook some sugar-free flapjacks that sound delicious. I have never tasted them before, but I can't wait to. I'm giving up sugar tomorrow, so I thought I would make these today for the rest of the week so that there's something there that I can kind of nibble at and not feel like I'm missing out. There's some lovely ingredients in here. I will put all of the calories and all of the ingredients in the recipe in the comments below, so don't worry if you miss it as I'm going along, because I'll say quite quickly how many grams of things there are, etc. So join me if you'd like to find out how to do it. So the great thing about this recipe is it is basically putting everything into a bowl, mixing it, putting it into a baking tray and sticking it in the oven. There's no kind of separate bits to it, which is lovely. So I'm just going to tell you everything that I've got. In here I've got 50 grams of peanut butter. The peanut butter I've used so as not to have sugar is the whole earth one. This is just available, I got this from Asda. You can get it in Sainsbury's and Tesco's as well, I think. So this has no added sugar. I've also used 50 grams of agave, which has disappeared, it's in the cupboard here. This is agave nectar. Again, you can get this in Sainsbury's. I don't know whether they still do it in Tesco's. They used to and then they stopped for a while, and they don't do it in Asda, but you can always get it in Sainsbury's. You can also get it in Holland & Barrett, and I have been using this for years. I use it in everything. I use it in my coffee. I've used it in cooking a lot. It's lovely. It's just like a syrup, but this is a low GI sweetener that comes from the tequila plant, which is probably why I like it. Anyway, there's 50 grams of this in this bowl as well. And then the final thing in here is one of these creamed coconut sachets, and all that is in these sachets is coconut. So it said to add it, but they actually come quite firm, as you can see. So I just stuck it into the microwave for 30 seconds, cut the top off, and then just kind of scraped it out, and there was the oil and whatnot. And so that's what's in there. Then to add to that, we've got a bowl of goodies here. I've got in here 200 grams of oats, and then you can add 100 grams of whatever you like in the way of nuts and seeds. So I've put 80 grams of flaked almonds and 20 grams of sunflower seeds. So I'm just going to tip that into the bowl because, like I said, it is literally you mix everything together and then bung it in the oven. And then also add into that is these, that's 100 grams of prunes. Again, if you didn't like prunes, you could use dried apricots. There is also 2 teaspoons of ginger goes into it. It's really lovely ingredients, isn't it? Oh, is this a teaspoon? Yeah. 2 teaspoons of ginger. And then just to kind of moisten it up, there are a juice of 1 lime. So I've got my limes kind of cut in half already. I'm just holding this over there so that I don't need to do it in 2 lots. It's always hard, I find, to get the juice from a lime though. So I might try and squeeze it as well afterwards. Just to get every bit. That's 1/2. Should give it a squeeze first. I hope these are going to be as yummy as they sound. I'll let you know. I'll taste one before the end of the video so I can tell you. Just squeezing the last little bits of that lime in there because it doesn't actually look that moist. Now, I'm not using a wooden spoon to stir it. I'm actually just using a metal spoon because there's some stuff in there that's going to kind of need, I don't know, I just feel like a metal spoon will be better. So I'm just going to mix it all up, which might take a while. Things like the peanut butter and whatnot are quite thick. No, it's mixing okay though, but yeah, it's not going to be a quick thing. It's like, I should maybe have melted the peanut butter as well. Actually, that might be an idea. I think actually looking at this, you would be better to melt your coconut oil and peanut butter together for a couple of, maybe 30 seconds in the microwave just before you mix it in with everything else, because it's actually, it doesn't say to melt it in the recipe, but it says just to mix it, but this is not mixing very easily. There's a lot of dry oats here. I might actually add in some water, a little bit of water, just to kind of help mix it. And also some more oil, because some more agave, there's no harm in more agave. So I'm going to put some more agave in it. and a little bit of water. Should help it a bit. And next you just need your baking tray. So I'm using this one and I've just lined it with some baking paper, and then I'm just going to put that mixture into the baking tray. Don't worry that it looks quite crumbly when it bakes, it will all sort of meld together because it's got that coconut oil and peanut butter and whatnot to kind of, and agave to bond it all together when it's nice and crispy. So then just kind of pat it down as you would with normal flapjack. Actually, it worked out quite well doing it with a metal spoon as opposed to a wooden spoon. So this is quite good for the patting down part. It's the technical term, patting down. So once that's all in the baking tray, you should have preheated your oven. Sorry, I should have said that, but preheat your oven to 200 degrees, or I don't know what the equivalent is in gas, but again I'll put it on the comments below. But you just stick this in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes. So that's it, been in the oven for 15 minutes, and this is what it has come out like. Now it says in the recipe to serve warm, which I find a bit odd, but I'm just going to lift this out because I've got that baking paper onto a baking tray. And I will have a little piece of warm and tell you what it's like, but I would say that you could also, of course, leave it to cool down like any normal flapjack, but that's it finished. So let's get a knife and cut a little corner off. Wow, it's very crumbly, that's the first thing I'd say. So tasting that warm, it actually doesn't taste very sweet at all. And I've had that before with recipes that I've made where you don't put any sugar in it and you use something like agave or sweetener or whatever. It sweetens up as it gets cold. But it's really weird because it did say on the recipe to serve warm. Anyway, so I'm going to leave it to cool down and see what it tastes like then, and I'll let you know. So I left it to cool down and have just had another piece, and it's a world of difference. It's definitely sweetened up. It's not as sweet as normal flapjack, but obviously it's not going to be because there's not a single bit of sugar in it. The only sweetness in it is the agave and, is that all? Yeah. Well, I guess the fruit, the prunes, and the creamed coconut might give it kind of sweet flavour, but it's still absolutely lovely. I'll be delighted to eat that, being as I can't eat sugar, and I would totally recommend it. I'll put all the calories, I think I said this, I'll put all the calories and the ingredients and the recipe and how to do it and everything in the comments below on this video, so I hope you enjoyed that. If you cook it and get on well with it and find any other tips and tricks to how to mix it easier, because that was a little bit difficult, then please do let me know. Give me a thumbs up to this video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon.